back to another episode. For this episode, I'm going to talk about concert B flat and what concert B flat really means and how it kind of means something different for each instrument. But in the end, hopefully, it'll all make sense. We're going to look at some charts and I'm going to play some saxophone. So let's get right to it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at the different groups of instruments and how they relate to each other, especially talking about the first 5 notes that we've learned. So what I've done is divided them into groups. The first group are flutes and trombones. They're written in the key of B flat. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a diagram that I've created, and I'd like to think of it as like a little hill or like a mountain, right? When we warm up, okay, we like to start at the bottom of the hill on the left side, and say if you're playing a flute or trombone, we like to start on B flat. Right? And then what we like to do is we like to go all the way up to F. So if you're going to go from B flat, the next note would be C, and then just follow the alphabet, D, E flat, and F. And look at that, we reached the top of the hill, right? Those are the first 5 notes that we've learned. And for flutes and trombones, we go from B flat all the way up to F, and then look, we have to go back down. E flat, D, C, and then B flat. So it's the same idea for the different instruments, but since they're in different keys, they start on different notes. The clarinets and trumpets are in the key of C, so their first note on the mountain will be C. And then if you follow the alphabet, you'll be able to figure it out. D, E, F, and finally, G. And then what do we do when we get to the top? We come back down. F, E, D, C. Finally, the last group are the saxophones. Now these ones are really tricky. Saxophones are in the key of E flat, right? But their starting note on the hill is G. Okay? This is also really tricky because in our musical alphabet, we only go from A to G, right? So instead of going to H, our next note is going to repeat back to the beginning of our alphabet. It will be A, then B, then C, and then all the way at top of the hill is D. And then once they get there, like everyone else, they come back down. So basically what this is saying is that even though these instruments are in different keys, right, we can create the same shape. And even though we start on different notes, right, they actually sound the same when we all play it together. Let me demonstrate. In order for us to understand this concept, I brought out my saxophone to make a little demonstration. Now, when we start on the saxophone, the first note we really like to learn, or the one that I like to teach the most, is G. And G looks like this. It's the first 3 fingers on our left hand, first 3 keys. 1, 2, 3. Right? And a G sounds like this. Right? Simple enough. But it just so happens other instruments like to start on different notes. Like as we just saw in our graphs, the trumpets and the clarinets like to start on a C, and the flutes and the trombones like to start on a B flat, right? But if I was to play a B flat on the saxophone, it would sound like this. And if I was to play a C on the saxophone, it would sound like this. A little different, right? The 3 notes sound like this if I was to play them right after one another. Right, so what we do, in order for us to play together as a group, right, and instead of the conductor going, okay, saxophones, now you're going to play a G, and clarinets and trumpets, now you're going to play a C, and flutes and trombones, now you're going to play your B flats, right? What we can do is, we can say, okay everyone, you're going to play your concert B flat. And then you can think, oh, what's the first note I learned? Our concert B flat. Saxophones, oh, it's my G. Oh, flutes and trombones, oh, that's my B flat, right? Clarinets, trumpets, oh, that's my C. Right? So once you learn more about concert pitch and what concert B flat really means, we'll get a better understanding of all the songs that we're working on, and it will slowly transition into our next unit. So, thank you so much for tuning in with me. I hope you had some fun learning and checking out some new notes and some graphs, and I can't wait to see you next time. Take care, everyone.